A chat with Joan Kelley Walker and Angela Bonfanti. The CNIB logo.
I'm Joan Kelley Walker, and I'm always thrilled around this time of year to have a wonderful conversation with Angela Bonfanti, who is the newly named COO of CNIB. Now, Angela, I'm very excited to speak with you today. We've got a lot of ground to cover. You have always been a very vocal advocate for inclusivity for all people with disability, and you've really been leading the charge and leading the most transformative achievements for the blind and partially sighted. My question for you is, how are you going to take this passion of yours into your new role as COO? And I also want to mention that CNIB, it's been 104 years that the CNIB has been in existence, and this is the first time that there is a role of COO. So how does it all tie together? And congratulations.
Well, thank you, Joan. And thanks for having me here today. I look forward to these chats just as much, maybe even more than you. I love chatting. I love our chats. So January, the announcement went out that to your point, CNIB announced its first Chief Operating Officer. CNIB has been many things to many people over the course of 104 years. And I believe the board decided that it was time, given all of the work ahead, given the exponential growth we saw during the pandemic, our virtual programs, our louder, prouder advocacy campaigns, our legislative work ahead, provincially, municipally, and federally, that it was time to introduce this important role. And I was pleased to be part of a great process, and I'm very pleased with the results. So I'm in month 8 of the gig, and we are right in the middle of the development of our next strategic plan, which is one of the main differences from my previous role, which was Senior Vice President for the organization. So we started asking questions in January. It's been 8 months of asking questions. We've had tens of thousands of touch points, thousands of surveys, hundreds of people gathering in person, telling CNIB what it is that we can do to help chart a better course for the community we serve tomorrow, and to help make Canada more inclusive. I think we're on the heels of something with Canada wanting to be better coming out of the pandemic than we were going in. And now is our chance to jump in and claim our space.
Well, you know what? Your heart of gold really, really shines through. And we thank you for that. And we're so appreciative to have you. So can I ask, what is on the horizon for the CNIB?
The future. The figuring out what the next 5, 10, and potentially even 15 years looks like. Figuring out what the baby steps are that we need to take in order to really foster some forever changes. We've done a few of those over the past 100 years, but we've got a couple of big ones. And so I think what we're hearing from the community thus far, and I think you and I will have a more in-depth chat when we know exactly what it is we're talking about, but early indicators are saying that CNIB provides great programs and is there for anybody who needs them. The issue that our community continues to face is the public attitudes and the perceptions and stigmas around blindness. So in other words, CNIB can provide as many great programs as we have, but until we really seriously address the daily community attitudinal stigmas that become those barriers to daily living, we're only going to get so far. And that is a scary thing to hear, because the stigmas and misconceptions and the changing of that is not something unique to Canada. It is an international piece. It is long rooted, and it's very difficult to measure. So we need to make sure that the plan, while the long-term goal is the smashing through stigmas and redefining sight loss and educating the public, there need to be some short-term steps and activities and initiatives that really are more than just about using wonderful words in a strategic plan that tell you how we're going to change the world. So there's a lot of focus in the future right now, and we're getting there. We've just finished an 8-month consultation process. We are now just wrapping focus groups, which is more about the solutions, whereas the first few months was about identifying the barriers that continue to exist today. And the next few months will be about solidifying our commitment to the community that will be equal parts inspirational, equal parts challenging, and hopefully achievable.
Wow, I couldn't agree with you more. And it's so nice to hear the focus on the future and such a strategic plan coming together like that. So shifting gears a bit, we are now 18 months into the Guide Dog program. So can you give us an update?
The campaign has gone exceptionally well. We are, to date, we've raised about $17.7 million of the 25 that we need.
That's incredible.
I know.
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations to everybody. This has been a team effort, and I'm astonished by the results. I mean, I shouldn't be, because the program is fabulous, our donors are fabulous, and our team is fabulous, but it's always nice to see it in writing. So it's been well received by our clients, and our attention has always been to increase capacity and expand funding so that we have, we continue to have about 30 people a day apply for a guide dog, and that the pandemic has certainly grown the need. So we are, it's not just a program, and it's not just dogs. We're expanding our spaces. We're expanding our teams. We are on the heels of securing Canada's very first puppy development center for the purposes of guide dogs for the blind only. And the next time we chat, I'll be able to give you the exact details, but we've got something in the works right now where, if all goes well, we'll be actually quite close to where you are, Joan. So I think we can have some fun with that. You know, a couple more months to make sure we've dotted our I's and crossed our T's. But that's really exciting, because what we've been doing so far is we've been begging and borrowing from other schools in the United States, for example. There have been some great participants, some great partnerships rather, that have occurred where we've been able to do whatever we can to put qualified, highly trained dogs in the hands of Canadians with sight loss who want a guide dog. But that can only go so far. We need a homegrown solution. And so while our business plan didn't originally have this when we launched a few years ago, for I think I had indicated at least 10 years before we started looking at the possibility of a puppy development program, a breeding program. You know, the demand has changed that priority. So that's going to take some money. It's going to take some time, and we're not going to rush it. But I'm you know, the more money we raise, the more possible this campaign and the goals that it has intended to set out will be successful.
You know, I get really emotional when I think it's 30 people a month applying for this, and it's so important and so nice to bring it home to Canada. So another brilliant plan. Thank you for doing all of that. Now, when I think of the Lake Joe camp and these guide dog puppies, is there a relationship there?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. There was always a natural relationship, but for the first time this year, thanks to you, Joan, and the Gordon and Ruth Gooder Charitable Foundation, you've helped to lead the development of some pretty cool brand new camp programs that are designed for kids, of which are the Buddy Dog Partners programs, as well as the Buddy Dog program. So we've talked about the Buddy Dogs in the past, but this was initially, the Buddy Dog was a secondary program to that of the handler side of the program. So priority number one is to match adult age Canadians with sight loss who need a guide dog. And there was a tier 2 for dogs that were, you know, really great in the program, but perhaps had a couple exceptions that wouldn't make them the ideal guide for working age adults in particular. And so we created this Buddy Dog program. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, or it didn't when we started. And it is about getting kids, young children and their families to have a dog. And you and I are dog lovers. We have fur babies. We know how important it is to have them in our home. But so beyond the companionship, what these Buddy Dogs do is they really provide a level of independence for these kids. They're not guides. They don't have a harness on them. I'm going to be explicitly clear. We're not pairing young kids with guide dogs. What we're doing is we're providing them with an opportunity to care for another living being. And the impact, when we talk about misconceptions and stigmas, where as most people will look at a child that's been recently diagnosed and share with them how limited their life is going to be, and to dare not to dream big, the introduction of a Buddy Dog at those pivotal years completely changes that. Parents see their children mature faster, care for these beings, walk them, feed them, talk to them, and siblings see that, and educators see that. And so there's only so much you can do as an organization to advocate for the equitable treatment of the children that are in our community. That needs to be paired with people having lived experience and seeing these kids, do way more than anyone would have given them credit for. And the Buddy Dog program really helps to harness that. And the impact is boom, it's immediate. So we need more Buddy Dogs. We need more kids.
Definitely need more buddy dogs. That is so beautiful, and I'm so happy to hear it. So let's talk a bit more specifically about the camp at Lake Joe. A lot of really talented, really hardworking people have been working really hard to make changes there, and we're still in the campaign. So what is needed right now, and can you update us on the status of the camp?
Yes. So we have, thanks to, again, great volunteers and some pretty great fundraising that stems back to long ago, but also most recently we got engaged with you, Joan, and we had our event at the camp. We've been spending some of those really important dollars on getting the camp up to date. We've got a ton of outdoor adaptive sports that we did not have before. And that has put us in a position to welcome a record number of campers this year. And as you can appreciate, after 2 years of, 1 year being completely shut down, last year we had mostly virtual with the exception of our holiday week, which we held for families. This year it's all happening at the same time. We have virtual, we have holiday, we have kids, we have adults, we have police dogs, we have advocate. Where the team has really shown up to do it all. And it really does help that we can now, have 5-a-side of soccer. We can now have golf. We have the rock climbing, the outdoor rock climbing unit, which is very difficult to do. I went up one level and then halfway up the second, pretty much.
You and me both, but I was probably in my heels.
Yeah. So there's more of that. So we're almost there. We've got, and all the water sports and all the things we've been able to do to get as many kids as possible to experience the thrill of fun in the water, whether it be jet ski, tubing, water skiing, tubing, and so on and so forth. And we're nearly there. So what
else is needed? Like, there's so much that has been done. I know we're very near the end of the campaign. What is the big push now?
We have about just over $500,000 to go to raise to finish the really important installation, which is going to serve as a multi-purpose gymnasium, it's a teaching kitchen, an event space, meeting space, you name it. And
it can be changed into a theater. I just think this is such a brilliant use of the space.
And from an engineering standpoint, that infrastructure is going to be really important to finally winterize the camp and make it a 365-day-a-year camp. And we've been talking about this since we first started chatting. So we're so close. We're so close. We've raised most of it. We've got another few steps to go, and we're really hoping that the combined efforts of the performance folks from the Lake Joe Club, the gift matching that you so generously give, our Dock to Dock party, which I think we'll talk about next, and other events will hopefully get us to that finish line so we can put that shovel in the ground and make Lake Joe a full year, a round year camp.
So, okay, let's talk parties. The Dock to Dock party is coming up on August 13th. Can people still get involved? And what does it look like this year? Absolutely. Every year has been different. The 1 year, we've had COVID that we've been dealing with. This year, people can actually gather. So what are we doing?
Yeah, we're bringing back the Dock to Dock. It was a test for us 2 years ago. Joan, I'm blanking on the date, but you and I were on a pontoon. There was music. It was a great day. We went to people's docks. They were there with their friends and their family. They got presented with a check. And, it was it's Canada's largest dock to dock party. It's three lakes in the Muskokas. And it's not too late to register. CNIB.ca/dock to dock. And sign up today. If you raise $1,000 on your dock, you get an incredible dock package. We will be there right up until the 11th hour. But, we found that we were potentially looking at bringing people back to the camp, but I think that the success and the comfort of people being able to stay on their own dock and have their family and be able to enjoy the music and really be thanked from the team, that was a success. So we're going to build on that and hopefully see similar results, maybe even better than the first time we piloted this concept.
And so people can register anytime, even on the day of. There's a team of people waiting to help them if they need help registering. If you raise $1,000, as you mentioned, you get this wonderful, wonderful dock box with all kinds of goodies in it. And the website, one more time, is cnib.ca/doc-to-doc. So that's great. And if you'd like to support some of the other initiatives, just go to cnib.ca. And Angela, thank you so much for all of this information. I feel like we covered a lot of ground, but there's so many wonderful things happening at CNIB. It's really nice to get this update from you. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you at a dog party somewhere this year.
And Joan, thank you. I mean, you're relentless with your support for us in this and many, many other ways. So I have extreme gratitude expressed to you on behalf of me and the entire team.
Well, it's my pleasure. And I also want to say congratulations once again on your new role. And we're all looking very much forward to all the exciting initiatives that have been implemented and just watching the transformation as we go forward. So all steam ahead. And thank you so much, Angela, for speaking with us. And thank you all for listening.
Thanks, Joan.
Visit us online at cnib.ca, the CNIB logo.